Hello, survivors. Welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Geoffrey Card. Over here, we got Brant Fitzgerald, and this is one of our, what are we calling these? Backseat driver streams? So basically what this is I'm going to be practicing reading the chat, which I'm normally very bad at doing. You guys can make suggestions about how you want us to play, and we're going to play that way. And that's basically all we're going to do for the hour. We've been doing a lot of like big feature announcements and stuff like that lately, and we're tired. And so we're going to do a kind of a chill stream with you folks and just hang out for a bit.
Am I obligated to play how they want me to?
You kind of are, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
crap.
I'm not going to necessarily, every single idea that comes in, I'm not necessarily gonna, accept, but yeah. So I think one thing. So let's have a look at our bounties real quick, though. Let's pop into the game. Okay, so right now the bounties we've accepted are collecting meds, collecting ammo, and killing Juggernauts, and we have killed 0 of the 10 Juggernauts. So I think we should at least start with a rule that we have to attack every Juggernaut
If we see a Juggernaut,
we have to kill it.
I will pull the e-brake and go over and deal with him.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to start with just that rule. We have to kill every Juggernaut we see. But I would love to hear suggestions in the chat. And anytime we run into a major decision we have to make, we'll try to prompt the chat to give us suggestions and and try to get that stuff going in the game. So,
What kind of ammo am I looking at? Man, we don't have much ammo.
so we've already jumped off a cliff. We're not doing that again.
Yeah.
That's taken care of.
Backwards driving? Oh, that's so boring.
I think we've already done that too, right? Oh, well, so I've got a question I'm going to answer in a little bit. So I feel like, we should have put some more preparation to this. Like, what kinds of questions should we have? Like, should we just be asking where do people want us to go? Which character they want us to play? Let's bring up our, or maybe we should insist, like, what weapons should we be using? It says here, no, Mom Prance, we are not doing any roof parking.
No roof parking.
Smiling Phases says, okay, so Amanda.
All crossbows. I can go with that one.
Okay, so all crossbows is an idea. Amanda says kill them with melee weapons only is also an option.
I'll do the jugs with melee only.
Okay, and then Rustic Ghost also suggests maybe after we do crossbows, revolver with a break. Basically make as much noise as possible. So like,
I'm all about that. I like that too. Okay, we'll play a little while with melee against freaks and crossbows, and then we'll switch over to Revo as loud as I can go. Because I will bring it on. First, I'm going to make sure my toilets are clean because that's important, kids.
Yep. And I've messed up my OBS thing here. I gotta fix this. Oh, whatever. I'll drag it around. It's gonna look unprofessional because that's how we roll here.
Our base is in real
So what I need to do
trouble.
is base it on the top left position. There we go. Okay, that's gonna be a little bit more professional as we go.
Do we have power? No, we don't. We have nothing. Oh man, we're in trouble. All right, I need snacks if I'm gonna go after jugs.
So we did get a question. Let's see. Oh, wait, where did it go? I had a question. Joe had posted a question in here, and now I've lost it. What? Okay, whatever.
Oh, no. Can I use it?
Sorry.
No, I can't.
Oh, hey, so King Cooter made a suggestion that we should turn off the HUD so we can't see our own health and stamina.
No, I refuse. I've done a no HUD thing, and that's
true. We did that with Fall Down a little while
that
ago,
is
right?
so punishing. That is, and I know like Adam Survives does that a lot, and prefers to play that way. But oh my God, how can you do it?
Rokai wants us to bring only weak painkillers with us.
Okay.
We can probably do that. We don't even need to. We just, as long as that's all we bring with us, then that basically covers it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I need to put the rule up for that.
Weak painkillers. Is that what I picked up? I can't tell.
Oh, so Rodan asked us, are there any other types of games we want to make besides undead survival? So survival fantasy games are sort of the core of our business and our expertise here. It's something we've established. It's something we can do. For a while, though, we actually were working on kind of a creature battler game for a little while. So clearly, that game ended up not coming out. It was in early access for a while. But we clearly have. There's a lot of people here with a lot of different tastes, and I don't think there's a genre that isn't represented by some fans in this office. I mean, lately the game that I've been playing the most of is Noita, which is very different from State of Decay. But if you guys haven't played Noita or looked it up, it's a ridiculous, weird game. It's a side-scrolling game where you're a wizard with magic wands, and like every pixel-sized chunk of the environment is simulated, so you can blow it up or set it on fire or use acid on it or whatever, and you're just constantly on fire and burning with acid yourself and running screaming through the level, and with things attacking you, and it's just madness.
That
and
sounds
I love
awesome.
It is actually a really good time. If I just want like 5 minutes of fun, I just jump into Noita. So there's my recommendation for.
Is that the one where every pixel is physicalized?
Yeah, every pixel is physicalized. Yeah.
All right.
It's insanity. It's only like $18 too. So.
I wish I had a PC.
So Mr. Echo suggests at some point we should put on the Jug mask and grab the Negan bat and go bash a hostile enclave.
So
Problem is we haven't unlocked the Jug mask yet.
And it's not a Negan bat.
It
is a bat wrapped in barbed wire.
That is true. The barbed wire bat concept, you cannot copyright design. So the design of that weapon it's public domain. It's not any particular bat. If you're gonna be leaning to the left, I will also.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's cool. No, that's fine. Sit however you're comfortable. I can move the camera. It's
I gotta
fine.
figure out.
And now we can see my monkey friend over there. So it's totally cool.
Hello. I like how grass skirt Brant is passed out behind.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
I just realized I fell behind in the chat. See, I'm supposed to be practicing reading the chat, and I am not succeeding at that.
This is why you're practicing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I gotta go find some jugs.
So, Medical Pizza asks, have you guys considered making the friendly AI smarter? Yeah, so I've started playing the game more often at home than I've been historically, and I just had an experience in my own game where I went out, there was a scattered survivor who, called for help, and I think she was at a Plague Heart building. So I went and I took out the Plague Heart. I wasn't really prepared for it. Took out the Plague Heart, rescued this woman, and she's a programmer. I'm like, I've been looking for a computers expert. I can't get a computer textbook. I can't get anything, but I finally got a programmer. So I was bringing her home, and she was already half dead. We got into a couple of fights on the way back, and then we get home, and a siege is starting, and there's a Juggernaut and like 900 plague zombies. And she just runs right into the battle and starts fighting. I'm like, no, you idiot! Go inside the building!
Go be a computer nerd!
And she got completely eaten. And I was like, okay, we have to prioritize our friendly AI. We are working on other stuff right now, but I agree with you. I understand the experience that you're having, and I'm very sorry. And so, yeah, we care a lot about this. And I know that we've got at least one designer who has been thinking a lot about how to make followers more useful in your game. So,
ouch.
let's see here.
Oh, all right. Here we go. There's a freak.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Johnny.
So you got to melee these guys.
Oh, I'm not looking. Oh, look at that. Bam, bam, bam.
You're like Book of Eli guy a little bit. You don't have to be looking. You can just dodge. Man, you make her game look good, Brant.
Oh, get him. Yes.
Nicely done. Wow. Okay.
I mean, no problem. Expert. Okay, I know. Don't chat and say, listen, it's standard zone, so you're a wuss. The truth is, yes, I'm a wuss.
So, since we've stuck by this rule, I'm changing the rule to be melee-only freaks.
Except
no bloaters.
Bloaters.
No bloaters. You got to walk up to them and make them trip. You can't shoot them. Let's do it.
Okay, I agree to that. The whole like running up and trying to hit one with a melee weapon is not going to pan out.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
Anybody.
We were talking about potential future achievements, and I did have an idea for one that involved.
Whoa, I think these guys don't. Oh, they don't like me.
No, these are bad guys.
What did you say to them? I've never met these people, and they already hate us, Geoffrey.
I'm trying to remember what the idea for the. Oh, right. I had an idea for an achievement where you put on the Jug mask and you go walk into a bloater, and I was going to call it Toxic Avenger. But we'll see if that one makes the cut. That's a lot of very specific coding for an achievement. Usually we go for just statistical ones because they're easier. And they're easier to not screw up.
It's hard for me to not jump out and try and find all the guns. But
Yeah.
Oh, but there are probably some...
Oh, just right out here.
Is
there a leg just sticking out of your tire? Okay, I think it went away. Despawned.
It happens.
You had a zombie leg sticking out from under your fender.
It does happen.
That was great.
Wow, that guy took a lot of hits. I'm going to try and find a helmet. I want an army helmet.
So Jer of Jer says, "Hey guys, I love your team, and I've been playing this game nonstop. Thank you, Jer.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. You guys playing the game really does help us a lot because, basically the more our game gets played, the more clear it is to the powers that be that this game should keep being updated, and we should keep getting to work on it.
That's right.
So the more you play, the better it is for us, the better it is for the game, for you guys.
I got a hat.
Comes full circle. What kind of hat is it?
Army cap.
Army cap. Nice.
Because I'm at the army, so I'll put it on. Because that's another rule. If I find something,
You have to wear it?
I have to wear it.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay, and I found two. I'm gonna put on the desert camo one.
Perfect.
Oh,
Oh, on the wrong character? Sweet!
oh,
Who are you playing now? You're
am-
You're McCall.
I am so good at this game.
So McCall looks like one of my main characters actually in my game, whose name is Merci.
Right.
She's like my one of my long-term survivors from previous communities. She's one of my favorites. She runs around with just Senor Pokey and a revolver.
I like it. That's a good way to live. Okay.
So we're still trying to collect ammo and meds for the
So I just got
achievements.
another ammo.
Cool.
So if I'm looking for ammo, I should run into the police station too.
So Jack Ripper wants to know if we plan to add heavy weapons like the ones from State of Decay 1. Maybe. Barbecue Jake wants to know plans to add any police uniforms or anything like that. So we've gotten that suggestion multiple times in the stream, and I forwarded it to the strike team lead in charge of the costumes. We haven't actually made, some of our longer term plans are still very undefined, and he's like, oh, I like that idea. So who knows? That's definitely not a promise. But you guys' feelings on that, police uniforms, fire uniforms, things like that. We've heard loud and clear you guys are really interested in getting some of that stuff.
And now we have a delivery system that will allow us to expand in that area very easily. So keep that
the ideas coming.
Yeah, keep the wish list coming. I myself was turned down for the Lucha Libre costume.
Oh man, who's this guy? Hey, we're in the bathroom right now. Wait your turn.
He's rude.
Well,
he paid for it.
Got what he deserved.
But since I'm in the police station, I'm going to.
A Great Data Game says, instead of just a Juggernaut mask, you guys should give us a bodysuit made of ferals and screamers. You're disgusting.
I know. Seek help.
What are you doing?
Seek help. I mean, that's too far.
No.
That is just too far.
Sorry. Yeah, I feel it's a little bit too Silence of the Lambs.
It puts the lotion on its skin and does this whenever it's told.
Yeah, you got a feral down a pit, and yeah. Ugh.
Okay.
Ugh.
This outpost is
Ugh.
It's a totally different game.
Yeah, sheesh. Wade Truitt suggests, could you guys add Diana's backpack, clothes, and crossbow from Heartland? Maybe.
Diana.
So
She was the
she
one
was
with the
lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rainbow lizard.
All right, I got to look for ammo.
Oh, hey, Earning Mender. I hope everything goes all right for you. Thanks for joining us, especially since you've got important things going on. LucasR wants to know if we can have more hostile groups that are a real threat that could even take over your base and kill people and stuff like that.
That's a cool idea.
That is a cool idea. We've been tossing around some. The interesting thing is, like, right now, enclaves and infestations and plague hearts, they all work a certain way, and there's a lot of you got a tactical uniform? You got to put it on now.
I know. That's important.
There's worse things than having to put on a tactical uniform. But yeah, so we've put a lot of thought into the fact that like there's better ways that some of these things could work, but they would break the way that things work already. And so it's interesting to sort of figure out, well, how can we work in some of these ideas, find some way to like, to really, to add another dimension to some of these things without breaking what's already working-ish. So it's complicated with like ideas like that where it kind of changes the way, and it's easier for us to understand under the surface how a change like that would change the way things work, sort of deeper in the game. It's
What the heck?
It's interesting because I love the ideas you guys are thinking of, and I love the direction that it's going, and we just kind of have to find the right way to do it. And some of these things, the right way to do it is very expensive and time consuming. And so so anyway, that's just a big that just sort of that particular idea, the idea of doing more with hostile enclaves, having them attack and take over your base. That sounds like a really cool thing, but I think there's some fundamental things that have to change with the way we're handling them generally for that to work.
Oh, I'm not looking for ammo. I'm looking for meds.
But I like it.
Jeffrey.
I thought you were looking for ammo. No, you got both. You got meds and ammo. They're both are up.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a bad thing.
Do I
on
have
track.
to turn it in? It's not just when I find it?
Yeah, it's when you turn it in. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm not allowed to use that meds either. Okay. Because people are so mean.
Jack the Ripper says that a biker gang enclave should show up and give you new clothes when you help them. That's an interesting idea. I don't think we've really considered having missions specifically be the source of clothes. Partly because missions are so random, it'd be really easy just to never have one spawn. And we're sort of riding the edge enough by putting some of them into the loot system, which also sometimes doesn't let things spawn.
No.
Oh no.
I want to
There we go.
Clean up the inventory, run inside, do my dirt.
All right, so it's been about 20 minutes. So at some point we should switch out to a revolver, which was one of the suggestions that we got. Whenever you go back home,
Well,
switch it out.
Because it was a rule, I better at least kill one zombie with the
crossbow.
Watch this shot. Achoo! Ugh. Done.
I would not have called a shot like that.
Done.
Wow. That is amazing. Yago Rodriguez wants to know, will the game have motorcycles? I would not hold your breath on that one, because that brings with it, motorcycles are special. They're not just like another kind of car. The character, the physics on them is completely different from a car, and a character has to animate completely differently. And they can fall down, and you have to pick them back up again. And there's a lot of complicated problems to solve. So we would be unlikely to do it until we have spent those kinds of time and resources on a lot of other features that are probably more critical to the experience. So I'm not saying never, but at the same time, it would definitely be a really tall order, and it would have to, there's a lot of other cool ideas would have to beat in priority, which would be tough.
So I couldn't find a muzzle brake for the revolver yet.
Oh, we don't even have any at home? Can we craft one?
I think it's on one of my people.
Or do we have an engineer? Can we craft one at the workshop?
I doubt we have an engineer.
Let's see. I think it's there. Yeah, attachments and crossbows. Nope. Just the suppressor. Okay. But we can do that while we're at it.
Might as well upgrade, right?
Yeah, totally.
Wait, was there anything in there? No. Was there?
No. Nazumi fan just paraphrased me, saying, "I'm not saying never, but I'm not saying ever," that's a great line.
That is a great line.
Oh, so I should officially follow up. We talked about this a little bit in the pre-stream, but I should officially follow up. Last week, we did a vote about my hair color and what color it was going to change to. And as you can see here, purple won. So this is what I looked like when I actually came out of the hairdressers. I actually had purple hair, I promise. But then I made the mistake of washing my hair every day, which, apparently that's a thing you shouldn't do if you're trying to maintain a color. And so now you see, like, the color in the front of my hair there is a little blue. Basically, my entire head of hair is now that blue color. But I did go with purple. So now people who voted for purple and people who voted for blue, they both won. It's only the people who voted for red who are the big losers. So maybe I'll have to do red next time. Next time the hair totally fades and we're ready to go for a new color.
Oh.
So wait, did you just switch to the revolver?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta change the rules then.
I got no problem with the revolver roll.
Yeah, they're kind of my favorites too, just because it's you feel like more of a badass winning with a revolver because it's so limited. You know, I mean, it'll last forever, but it's like, you know, you got to reload more often than with the typical gun.
I'm gonna make it even harder to do this by just firing off
fireworks indoors.
Indoors.
Nice.
Just looking for meds.
Ooh, Bianc the Tonk says being able to transfer inventories with a follower in the field, so you don't have to drop or switch.
That would be so huge.
That was in the original design. We desperately wanted to do that, but it ended up getting cut for time. And that is like when people ask, you know, actually, I think going back to the question, what cut stuff do you wish had made it into the game?
That one is definitely on the list.
So it's not completely crazy to be able to do it. It's just, again, we have to find the right spot in the priorities for it. But yeah, I would love to be able to do that. To bring a follower and have 2 full backpacks worth of inventories to be able to collect stuff with would be amazing.
No, that would be. Uh-oh, I'm running out of...
Jane Doe suggests a laser gun. We try to keep it a little bit more grounded than that around here.
Lasers.
We do like lasers, though.
I want to find a jug.
B-Downs, I'm doing a bad job of reading the chat, so I don't actually remember what your recruitment suggestion was.
Here he comes. Hello, Johnny Farrell. You don't look well. Oh, got a lucky shot in.
Nice. We had a suggestion that maybe we should make 22 revolvers quieter. Like apparently they were quiet. They were much quieter in State of Decay 1 than they are in 2. I don't remember that well enough, but I mean that doesn't sound like a crazy idea. We'd have to look into it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: revolvers are generally louder than.
That's true. They are kind of impossible to suppress,
yeah.
Except for very special cases.
Yeah, because the tolerances are a lot looser, and there's a lot more open spaces in them, so you're getting a lot more of the explosion, anyways. And it's a game. We have certain things that we really need. You know, we have mechanics that we want to try and support. So those ones fell sort of under that.
Kai NT suggests incendiary ammo, wondering whether that was going to make a return from Yo's. I really like the idea. I think if we did it, so the way we did it in Yo's, we wanted, but when I say Yo's, of course, I mean the Year 1 Survival Edition. When we first came up with it, we actually really wanted to make it possible to just switch ammo types while you were aiming a gun and just have it be an option for all shotguns to fire incendiary incendiary whatever rounds. And it ended up not being possible. Just with the time and resources we had to kind of work it into the existing ammo system, and so basically we needed to create a new category of guns that only shot incendiary.
Yeah, so we had to create a gun that was specific to that ammo type, which wasn't fun.
Yeah, and so I think if we wanted to do that, we would probably, this is just my guess, we would probably want to do it sort of the right way, which means spending a lot more time on it. And so it's a bigger feature because I think the next time we do alternate, oh, we saw a jug, we got to kill it.
Yeah, heading over there right now.
So, I was less prompting you than just explaining what we were doing.
Hey, buddy. Hey.
Nicely done.
Oh, yeah. And then I follow up with a terrible hit.
Don't
ever say things nicely.
Do better, Brant.
See, now I'm gonna fail miserably. I am pushing all the wrong buttons.
So we've gotten a couple of suggestions for protective clothing. So if we did protective clothing, we would definitely need to do it.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Separately from the existing outfit customization system, and so figuring out how to work it in with the existing outfit customization would be an interesting challenge, but one that I would love to take on.
Oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna break a rule and use the one first aid thing I have because that's all I had.
Well, we said I think we only committed to only bringing light painkillers, so, or weak painkillers, I should say.
Come on, go ahead and just hit. There we go. Oh, then the world gets worse because now I have just close quarters.
So,
She has such a cool outfit on. I don't want her to die.
Well, the outfit's free, so. What? That shockwave's gonna get
Game's
you.
terrible.
So we did have a suggestion from Typed Metal that we should only use close combat, and so it looks like we're getting it. Okay, so if you did run away from this jug, we didn't say we would never run away. You just have to come back and kill it.
Oh no!
I can't believe you're surviving this long.
Oh no! I was gonna say I finished. I finished when I start.
You do finish what you start.
No!
Oh!
Is she okay? I can't look.
Oh yeah. Oh,
wait! I'm seeing the replay.
I think
Crap.
she'll be fine. She'll be fine. Oh wow. Oh wow.
It's my glasses. I need a new prescription.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong.
So while we're loading, Infamous Zach wants to know what our favorite State of Decay 2 base is. So mine is the Bridge Fort. Even though it's one of the smaller ones and doesn't give you a lot of power, it's been in our concept art from the very beginning, and it's always been one of my favorite ideas. And I actually, in my own game at home, I just switched to Container Fort, but I stayed in that Bridge Fort for as long as I could manage as my community grew and eventually outstripped it. But yeah, I like the Bridge Fort enough. I'll stay in it way longer than I should. Do you have a favorite?
I'm trying to think. I love the drive-in theater.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of not very practical.
I like that we both picked impractical bases from the very beginning of development.
Yeah. I really like that base. The idea of it really makes me happy. Let's see. Other bases that I like are the farm in the middle of Meager Valley.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Mostly because it's in the middle. All right. Let's see.
So, Overlord Rhapsody has a really interesting question. In the game's design, what level of realism do you limit on ideas? Like, would you do more high-tech mechanisms such as frost grenades, or would that be a stretch? I think it's interesting when you're trying to explore stuff that's outside of reality. It's not like you can just do everything you can think of, right? Like if you just decide to leave reality, then you can just do whatever you want. You still have to sort of decide what the aesthetic and the style of your game is.
Yeah.
And something that is sort of, it almost feels like it's a stand-in for like a magic spell, is still kind of probably outside the realm of what would be appropriate for State of Decay. Like we don't need everything in the game to be realistic. I mean, obviously zombies are not realistic, but we do like the game to feel. I think the difference between realism and authenticity, like something could be not realistic but still be authentic. It still feels real to you in the moment, and it feels like
if we were
legitimate.
Trying for a lot more realism, none of these people would survive waterborne illness after the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly right. And so it feels like there's sort of an idea when you're sort of building science fiction worlds that that you should maybe, like, if you're going to do something that's magical that strains credulity, do one thing or only maybe two things. Just keep a limit on the number of very different new things you're adding to reality. And so things that grow out of our ideas underlying like the zombie plague and where it comes from. Like anything that grows out of that feels like it's in bounds, right? Because if we're going to be making a zombie game, we have to imagine that zombies are real. And so if zombies are real, anything that grows directly out of zombies being real, like all the weird stuff going on with blood plague and stuff like that, it all kind of falls in bounds. But something that comes out of like left field, like say frost grenades, might feel like, oh well, that has nothing to do with the zombies.
Well, and I mean,
it doesn't fit in quite as well.
I kind of actually felt that way a little bit with the guns that we designed for Daybreak.
Oh, that's true, because they were kind of coming from this whole Cleotech angle.
We went back and forth a lot and sort of agreed that while they were doing magnetic acceleration, we tried to make it look like it was garage magnetic acceleration.
Yeah.
So
because we didn't want it to have like too much of like a sort of a Buck Rogers sci-fi sort of feel, because that would just be wrong for the style of the game, right? Like this is a game about people, with grounded, realistic technology doing, having to survive something fantastical with only the stuff you can actually find in reality, and going too fantastical with the player's capabilities kind of starts to lose a little bit of what that fantasy is all about, right? So you got to know your franchise. So that stuff is probably right on the edge of what's appropriate. Things to do with just generally things to do with Cleo, and things to do with zombies. That's sort of our two. It's like we decided, okay, go a little bit in this direction, a little bit in that direction, but no, we're out of directions at that point. We can't like aliens are not going to invade this world because that's just a third thing. We do not need a third thing. Oh crap. Brant's been really. Oh gosh.
Oh god.
Brant's been banking on aliens this whole time.
Okay.
Okay, well, you can have it
I'm back. I thought I turned the Xbox
Anyway,
off.
whenever I start monologuing, of course, I lose complete track of the chat.
So you know what is realistic? Mm-hmm. This person has decided to walk 4 miles across zombie-infested lands to go back and pay back that jug.
I mean, it killed their friend, right?
And she's so mad she couldn't even walk out to the parking garage. She's like, I'm done. I'm gonna walk there so that my vengeance burns long and hot.
So Yago Rodriguez asks, so I realize that when you don't choose a leader, it gets harder to harder to get missions to recruit people. Is that in my head, or does that really happen? I don't know about that being specifically related, that not choosing a leader would put that off exactly. But, I mean, it is so many aspects of the game are so random.
Whoa.
It's really... Who signed on with Nigel on another Xbox One? What? What other Xboxes has our Nigel account? I think that one over there does, but nobody's messing with that one. Joe? Do you know anything about Nigel being somewhere else? We're kicking them... Whoever it is, we're kicking them off.
Yeah, I'm kicking them out.
Yeah, sorry, we're running the stream.
What about... Do you have it at your house?
No, I never signed in with Nigel at home.
Okay.
That's really odd. Yeah.
Man.
So that used to happen to us when we were using my account, and the kids would sign me out at home.
Right.
That's why we switched to Nigel, because he's only here. And there shouldn't be, like I said, I think I'm looking at the only other Xbox that has that account on.
There is another Xbox, and it's probably on someone's desk right now. Remember when we removed the old TVs? Those two migrated, and we got one. But there's another Xbox with Nigel on it somewhere.
Oh my gosh. Somebody needs to run around and find who's got that Xbox.
Just start shouting Nigel out the door and see what happens.
All right, awesome.
Now let's see where it's put me. I'm in the middle of my vengeance. Look at that! I can resume vengeance.
So in any case, I don't think that that having a leader is directly related to whether recruit missions spawn. Recruit missions definitely spawn a lot more when you have a lower population than when you have a larger population. That's the main thing that affects it, to my knowledge. Then again, so there's two issues. Number one, this is a complicated game, and I could be missing some factor that could make what you're saying true, and I wouldn't know about it. But then there's also the other factor of just randomness. Like when something is random, you're going to have spikes and valleys. You're going to have periods of time where the random thing is just not happening, and then it suddenly starts happening, and then it stops happening for a while. And when something is genuinely random, that's just how it goes. And so it's really easy. Like that's one of the things that our brains is hooked up to do is like it's like, oh, I think I see a pattern. Could these things be connected? That's like the main job of the human brain. So you're going to start seeing patterns that might not actually be real, but they're going to feel totally just as real as every other pattern you've ever seen in your life. So it's entirely possible that you've just had this genuine experience that's told you that that's how it works, even if it doesn't really work under the surface, just because that's how your luck has gone.
Oh man, I can't exact vengeance because the jugs moved on.
So Megan's pointing out to me that a lot of folks have been asking about raising the population cap and being able to recruit from your pool of survivors. Those are both features that we would love to do. Both of them are a little bit expensive, and so we'd have to find the right time to do them, but we're totally on board with wanting to do both of those things. We just need to figure out when and how. So, stay tuned. Definitely upvote those ideas on the wish list. If you go to support.stateofdecay.com, go to the community, I think it's still the community tab unless somebody changed something, and go to the wish list, and you can either add ideas that you have, or I'm pretty sure both of those ideas are already there. You can upvote them and make sure that we know that those are the most important ideas on your list. So, Rodan has a question. Do all the weapons with a maxed out power bar do the same damage? Or is it different? And if it is different, can we get numbers instead of the bar? So I'm pretty sure that bar does represent sort of the breadth of of what weapons impact value can be. So if they're all maxed out, I think they all do have the same
there's a top
value.
End. There's a top end.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, but
Yeah, and so for most zombies, that bar doesn't actually matter that much. I think it might affect their knockdown a little bit or something, but for zombies, it's just hitting the head, which is a random roll unless you're using a gun.
oh, don't mind me. I'm just gonna go through the 2 different pockets you have available. Ugh.
Ugh. Can you do it over there too? Oh wow. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Oh, hey, so Joe pointed out, okay, good. I thought they were going to change this. There actually is a direct link to the wish list on the front page of support.stateofdecay.com. So you don't have to go click the community tab anymore. You can just go straight there. So that's great. So remember, if you've got ideas, go to support.stateofdecay.com. Add your ideas, or find them in the existing list and upvote them so that we know that you care about them.
I really want to find. I'm just gonna pretend that the next jug I find is
the same one.
Is the perp.
Have we checked the map? Because a lot of times
he's not here.
Huh, weird. I guess actually, we left and came back, so that might
He also heard I was walking. I was that mad that I was walking from my base. And I do have.
You are a good shot with that revolver.
I do have the muzzle brake on this one, so.
Perfect. We're making as much noise as we possibly can. I don't think did that one go down? Maybe it did. It's
there's one crawling.
Its dot lasted a little bit longer than I expected. There we go.
Just keep on calling jugs. I'm gonna find a jug. Now I'm on a mission. This is redonk.
Jax Seamus says, "Can you guys put a pot farm mod for bases?" Jax, when it says switch food for meds, that's what you're doing. You're making a pot farm.
Not in Australia.
Except in Australia.
You're not doing that in Australia.
No, you're making. I've heard that burning sage is really good for you.
You are making whatever the Australian government believes is acceptable natural medicines.
Exactly.
But everywhere else, yeah.
Okay, Gooniverse has a new rule. Resident Evil mode. Stand still while shooting or reloading. You can't move while you're shooting.
I've already lost one survivor here.
I mean, I don't move that much when I'm shooting anyway, so that might not actually be that bad. I do like that idea, though, Resident Evil. You have to plant your feet when you're shooting. Or even when you're just aiming your gun. It is a good idea to plant your feet when you're shooting, but...
I'm going to find a jug. Yeah, I mean, if you
can't take out that jug...
Unless you're a trained soldier or, somebody who does 3-gun competitions, you best leave your feet on the floor when you're shooting or else trouble ensues.
Yeah, you completely lose control of that weapon, and you're not going to be happy when that happens. Virulent Ending says, if you hang around the stairwell of the big hospital there, you can hear a zombie upstairs. That is true. That is a really fun audio Easter egg. There's a few of those scattered around the map, places where you can hear something going on that you'll never see. We talked about a few of those when we were here with Alex Thomas the other couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that was great. I should maybe I'll link that video at the on the end screen of this when I put it on YouTube.
I know what I should have done.
Or maybe I'll stick a card over on the. How do I point? Yeah, over on that corner. Maybe I'll stick a card for Alex's video.
Maybe if I use the systems that we've created for this game, I can actually find a Juggernaut. I apparently have no problem finding finding ferals. Oops. Come on. There we go.
It's weird, like, yeah, once you know, I get so used to playing the game with cheats on and stuff like that, like, I never need to survey. So all site survey, does that mean that we don't have any new freaks?
Yep, there's a feral inside the...
So, okay, so on my game at home, I had 2 ferals inside of a rock near my base, and I couldn't do anything about it.
That's what explosives are for.
Oh, I guess so.
Oh, no.
Bilbo oh, no!
Oh.
Bilbo says ferals are horses, confirmed. Ian Simpson, no, there was not a patch today. We're just doing the stream because we like to do the stream, not because anything special happened.
Oh, okay. Feral was not inside.
It was just behind it?
Okay.
We might have to consider this our revenge on that Juggernaut. Oh, no!
Oh, this is not good. Come on.
Zero Meat says, I had a Juggernaut in a swimming pool. I like it when they take out the other zombies. Nice. It'd be funny if one of those other zombies killed you while you were doing that.
That'd be so funny.
Can you? Oh, here we go.
I had to reload. I'm standing still.
GG30, I don't think we've announced the timing of the next update, but, you know, we're doing them fairly frequently now, so, you know, it won't be that long.
Man, that guy had... Come meet your buddy.
Nice.
Bring it.
Bianca the Tonk is suggesting that we should add throwing knives for close combat specialists. Just infinite throwing knives. You'll be like a... You'd be like playing Gauntlet, or no, wait, is it Gauntlet?
Yeah.
You just constantly throw your weapon.
Yep. Yeah, the person who wants the throwing stars in the zombie apocalypse is going to be a zombie faster than just about anybody else, is all I'm saying.
Thomas Kruger, don't listen to Nezumi fan. Pay attention to the date that they listed. Thomas Kruger's asking about State of Decay VR, and Nezumi is telling them, yeah, April 1st, 2020. Like,
nice.
Okay. I think I fell for one of those April Fool's headlines recently. Like it was like one from like 2015 or whatever, and somebody totally like posted the article like it was just a normal article, and I think it was the one. It was the one where apparently they said there was a film of gold around the inside of the Large Hadron Collider, and nobody knew where the gold had come from. And I was like, and it's just a random thing to lie about. I was just like, wow, that's weird, and I got totally into it. And then I was like, oh, and then somebody pointed out that it was on April 1st. I was like, oh, of course that's not true. At least those scientists would know why it happened, at the very least. But yeah.
All right, I'm still mad about it. I'm still Jug mad.
Rodan wonders, lore question, do jugs, screamers, etc. evolve from normal zombies, or does it happen when the person dies? That is a very good question that we have not answered.
Hello.
Here we go.
It's one of the Miller boys. Yeah.
He's like, oh, this is way better than rubbing my stomach against it. Man, hit him in the face. That weapon is particularly nasty. I love watching him smack the other zombies. Going toe-to-toe with this monster. Great. Zero Meat says, rub his tummy. It's good luck.
Man, I was a long ways away. Take that right in the chops. Right in that kisser.
Hellhound asks, how hard is it to reskin cars? I think it's just artist time, like anything else. You know, it's about what it takes to. I think it's probably a little bigger than weapons, right? So
I wish it was just that easy.
Yeah.
Anytime we make another car variant, we expose ourselves to some tricky export issues. So cars are
interesting.
In theory, anything should be easy to reskin.
Yeah. But apparently there's some problems that I don't know about.
Because it's us. It may actually break the game all the way to its core, erase it off your hard drive, and and then chastise you for ever playing it. No.
So in theory, it shouldn't be that bad. There's some complicatedness to it that makes it so it's not just easy. We can just do it whenever we want to, and it's competing with other things, right? I mean, the same people who reskin cars also make new weapons and things like that,
Yes.
and make new buildings and whatever. So it's we got to carefully choose which things we do, and also we have to decide. If we did decide to add new vehicle skin to the game, we'd have to decide how are we going to deliver it. Do we want to try to do it through the bounty broker? Do we want to, do it like the wizard van was, where it's just kind of free to everyone? Or there's a lot of different ways we could approach it. And we got to figure out the right way. And so I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we had a new vehicle skin as one of these updates. But
All I wanted to do was return a library book. Librarians back there like, yeah, no. Oh, see, you got my confidence up by saying I was pretty good with that revolver.
Running out of fuel.
oh, hey, Beats and Buttons is here. He says he fell asleep waiting for the stream.
That's how exciting we are.
Yeah, I know. We're super exciting.
Be warned, we can. Oh, you know what? I'm in trouble. Yeah, it's time to cheat.
Yeah, unfortunately, Beats, you're not missing that much. we're
I'm
up to some nonsense right now.
I'm just losing my game here on standard.
Hanson Steel wonders, will I ever be able to find a survivor named Sarah Connor?
Nope.
I don't know for certain if both... I mean, Sarah is definitely on the name list. Connor probably is. I haven't actually... I'd have to double check that one. It's not one of the most common names in America, the way Sarah is. But probably. But the chances of you getting that exact pair is really, really, really low. Occasionally, I've actually rolled friends' names by accident, which was great. But it's like, if you're drawing from an entire list of everyone you know, it's a lot easier to eventually get one pair that's right, versus if you're aiming for one specific name. If you're aiming for one specific name, you are never going to get that name. Just ask Fallout Girl.
Yeah.
Chompy Chompy asks, is there a cap on the number of infestations you can have on the map? I suspect so. It's been a long time since I've talked with anyone about that system, and so I can't promise you that's true, but almost anything in a game is usually got a limit on it somewhere. Because, overdoing it can always just be a disaster. And so most programmers who have experience with games will put a limit, whether you ask them to or not, will put a limit on everything they do, because the last thing they want to do is be responsible for something completely tanking the game because somebody got too many of it. Like, I remember when before I ever joined the game industry, I would be playing the original Halo, and I would just shoot a grunt body on the ground again and again and again, and make an infinite number of blood decals spatter across the floor until the game slowed to a slideshow.
Oh, we actually did that. We had that because for a long time we didn't have a timeout for the ragdoll bodies. And
so you just fill the world up with ragdoll bodies?
No, all you had to do was shoot one around, and you could write your name in their blood trails, and it was it got pretty bad. So we had to. After a while, they just stopped working.
So Love and several other people have asked, are we going to fix the invisible zombie glitch? I know I witnessed that coming to the attention of some of the sort of top folks on the team, and so it's definitely got their attention. I think that there's some investigation that needs to be done into exactly what's causing it, but we are aware of that.
Most likely, it's a client versus host thing.
Yeah.
Because often people will be like, I'm being attacked by a Inviso, and so the host has to run over, find them, kill the zombie, and then they're safe. So it's somewhere in there, but I'm not.
But what exactly is going on is a question for a programmer to answer.
We don't actually have network engineers. We have programmers who have done stuff, so, we got, their time is precious, so.
Yeah. So
we're working on it, though. I mean,
Yeah. So that one, I personally witnessed that one come to the attention of people who very much care about trying to get it done. So, again, as always, not making any promises about when or how.
Yeah. All right. I better say something. I said we're working on it. Don't take that as it's in our bug queue. I don't know what's in the bug queue for the programmers.
Yeah, and we definitely, even if we're working on it, that doesn't mean it necessarily will be in the next update. In fact, usually if we started working on something right now, the chances of it being in the next update are pretty slim. There's some lead time on that stuff, so. White Owl asks, how many more maps do you want to make? I want us to keep working on this game into the indefinite future.
Yeah,
so,
I wanna make,
unbounded number.
I want to make 11,000 maps for this.
We will see what reality deals to us, but it's not a question of what we want to make. That's not what the limit is.
Yeah, it's never that.
Magic Man 79 wants to know if Cash Beaumont will ever wear a bacon suit. And I think he might now.
I think, well, if he did, we'd have to turn off his invincibility to zombie attacks.
Just when he's wearing the bacon suit, he just gets completely mauled by zombies.
Every single zombie in the map would go after him.
He's just completely covered in zombies and dies. Oh, that'd be great. Love it.
Such a bad idea. Okay, I'm not gonna kill another character. I'm gonna go home and turn in this stuff. Actually, I need gas, but I'm gonna go home and turn this stuff in so that we get some credit before I do something stupid and kill our character again.
We only got 7 minutes left anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, good. I decided to stop at another play cart. No problem.
Absolutely nothing.
Right there. Oh, no big deal. Yeah. You just get all this gas. It doesn't see you.
There we go.
It can smell
What's
you.
with that?
Let's see. I
You
should.
don't need coffee.
No, I don't need the whatever that was. I'm not afraid of it though. Watch, I can just totally refuel this and not worry about. Who else tries to push the turbo button when they're refueling a car?
Me too. Yes.
I'm like, physics, dump faster. Oh, I got to make that guy trip. That's right.
Blasphemer asks, does the number of infestations on the map correlate with the number of hordes you encounter? So, I think there are certain kinds of hordes, like hordes that have a screamer with them, that are spawned by infestations. But normal hordes just spawn normally like any other zombie, and so you shouldn't expect it to make a huge difference to the horde population if you wipe out infestations. And besides, the way infestations work right now, you wipe them out and they're all right back again really soon. And
I mean,
that's
hordes
one of
are
the,
supposed to work their way towards a specific spot, and then if they make it there, then there's a chance that they will infest that spot.
Yeah, so I think some hordes do that and some hordes might not. I'm not dead certain. So that's actually one of the systems we have flagged as like, this doesn't make a lot of sense right now. We would love to go back in and do a better job of this particular system. That is on that list, and so I would love to be able to at some point tell you folks that we have that we've figured out a better way for infestations and hordes to work. But we're not there yet. So just sort of play fast and loose with those guys. Rokai Koopa wants to know, is the Reims V vehicle named after Ving Rhames?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Specifically because of his role in
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the
remake.
Dead. Yep.
Yep.
There we go. I love you 300. Only 300?
I love you 400.
Asks, can we get a new map, please? Maybe.
No. Yes, someday I hope that we are able to devote time to creating a new map for this.
That would certainly be one of our most asked for features.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want a new map? I do.
I would love one. That sounds
If it
great.
was up to me, I'd be working on one right now.
Right this second, and not playing this silly game with you folks.
No,
Just kidding. I love playing this silly game with you folks.
no, we love you guys. That's why we.
Let live kind of style.
That's why we. Keep
That's why we
coming
make
back.
this silly game for you folks.
They don't even want Geoffrey and I to do these streams.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
Nice. Let's sort it like crazy quick
Look at
before
that.
it goes away.
look
Oh,
at that.
we're so close.
Only one Juggernaut killed though. What we should do is if you die to a Juggernaut while that's active, it takes away one. It puts a debit of 1 on that.
That sounds great.
So don't do what I did. Don't run out and get killed with your best character because you think you're good. which is what I did.
So Alec K says, would you go for more of a city map or another country map? So if we wanted to get a map done sooner rather than later, the best thing for us to do would be to come up with, to use a lot of the assets we've already got. And so to make a map that's got some distinctive features but also overlaps a lot with the maps we already have. So if we wanted to get a map out to you guys quicker, we would need to do that kind of map, do more of a rural map.
Yeah.
And if we wanted to do a city map, that's a more ambitious thing that would take more time, more resources, more money to get a whole bunch of new assets into the game. So take that comment for what it's worth.
Money. All right.
Well, we've got about 2 minutes left.
All right. I'm going to just start throwing. See if I can find one more jug right in the local
vicinity.
Yeah. Just run over to the edge here and see what happens.
Just jump right off.
Because I'm still mad.
We haven't killed an. Oh wait, who's that down there?
That's not a jug.
Oh yeah, no, it's just a larger zombie. I couldn't quite tell with the perspective. You're so. Gosh. I can't believe you're making these shots. What the heck?
And then I missed the close ones.
Four shots for that one. Wow. But he was a moving target though. He's a moving target and stuff.
Don't even.
I gotta rest. Getting low on that.
See here. So Big Will says, I know this is a Q&A thing, you guys, but I wanted to say you guys are doing a good job and thank you for a fun game.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate it when you guys say that. I mean, I feel silly, saying that out loud, like a compliment for us, but I wanted to acknowledge that you'd said it and thank you for it.
Well, I mean,
I gotta rest.
honestly, most of the time, the only people who take the time to comment on the game are people who telling us that we suck and we're bad humans, like we should, give up and...
Die in a fire.
Exactly. So it's great, given that's about 80% of the comments that people send. It's great to hear that people like it. Even though we know most of you do anyways, because you're hanging out with us in the middle of the day on a Monday,
Yeah.
when, which we appreciate as well. But it's time, I think.
Yeah, I think we are out of time. So thank you again, everyone, for we're right at the right spot up here too.
Yeah,
Just,
I'm gonna cheer because we did
woohoo!
it.
We did do it. So so we're going to get out of here. So I'm Geoffrey. This is Brant. If you want to, look down in the doobly-doo. You can find our
What
Twitter.
did you call me?
You're a sports racer. You're a hard charger. Yeah, it's a deep internet meme cut. But yeah,
Will you
as
explain
is,
it to me?
I will.
Okay.
As is the word doobly-doo, which is the description on YouTube. Our Twitter accounts are down there. You can talk to us, and we would love to hear from all of you because we love that you're playing our game. We love that we get to do this stream with you guys. So really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for coming out.
And we'll get out of here. Oh yeah, so Halloween week coming up. We're gonna have something special.
I think people should make sure that they log in from between October 25th and the end of the month.
I guess I should have put those numbers up there, huh? Yep. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be weird.